Good morning, evening, afternoon, or whenever it happens to be you're listening. Welcome back to another episode of the Dear John podcast. I'm your host, John Moody, podcasting out of a walk-in closet in Atwater Village in California. Welcome back for those of you who came back. Apparently, I touched a nerve last week with some of my advice. I think I told y'all early on that this was all to be taken for fun and not too seriously, but apparently some of y'all took a little umbrage with the advice I gave concerning a dog, and I got more letters addressing that than asking for advice. So what I'm gonna do is let some of y'all know the bullshit I gotta deal with, and I think about how I'm gonna answer some of these questions, and it's all a joke. But the same thing happens to me on Facebook. Like, I'll post something that's absolutely ridiculous, and there'll usually be somebody, and I guess everybody on Facebook don't know me, and I have to admit the way I write things up, it kind of comes off as being serious. But bait and switch is kind of how I like to do things. Lead you one way, then boom, hit you with something. It's a joke, it's funny, it's outrageous, it's stupid. But I said something, if you didn't hear last week's episode, check it out if you get a chance. But I said something about poisoning dogs, not to the point of death, but because somebody was dating someone who wanted to bring a dog over all the time. And I'm like, yo, poison that little damn dog just enough to make it sick. She won't bring that dog over no more. I bet she won't. And a lot of y'all thought that was so jacked up that I got this letter. Dear John, what you said about dogs was reprehensible. I hope a dog gives you rabies by raping you. Seriously? Seriously, you hope that I get rabies by dog rape? Okay, and instead of taking offense about that, and instead of addressing you directly, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you know that right now, my reaction to the next dog that humps on my leg is going to be because of you. I'm going to take it out on the next let a dog hump on my leg. Usually I just kind of, knock them down a little bit, make sure they get off me. But I'm going to feel like the dog is trying to give me rabies by raping me, because that's some shit you hope for me, or some shit you hope would happen to me. So yeah, I'm just gonna take it out on the next dog. All right, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let a dog. I wish it. I don't want to say I wish a dog would hump on my leg. That sounds kind of disgusting. But just let it happen and see what happens. All right, okay, y'all. Let's get to some of the letters where people are actually asking for advice and not hoping that I am raped by a dog. Anyway, let's go to our first one. Let's open up the first email here. Okay, here we go. Dear John, at what point during dating is it okay to Netflix and chill? Oh man, that's actually a good question. I like that one, because Netflix and chill is a real thing. People do that. I mean, I wish that had been around when I was in my early 20s and was trying to come up with something to do for dates or whatever. But people do that all the time now. And in a place like LA, where like fighting traffic and then parking structures and then the $50 you can easily spend on a movie is a big deterrent to going to your theater to watch a movie and it might not even be all that good. You know what I'm saying? And think about it, movies are like $15 a ticket now. And by the time you go to concessions, unless again you with that cool person who gonna sneak some food, or like the advice I gave on a couple episodes ago, unless you got a real cool person who's willing to sneak into the movies with you, movies can be really expensive. So Netflix and chill is cool, and I like it better because it gives you a chance to interact more, because you can actually talk. You can pause, talk about what you just saw, or if you miss something, you don't have to be like, oh, what did she just say? What, and then you interrupting that person that you're there with and other people around you, and you can text and do all kind of shit at home that you shouldn't do at the movie theater. So Netflix and chill is real cool. The only problem is that it might give off the impression that you're trying to be cheap, or that it's a cheap attempt that you're trying to get some. So I think that Netflix and chill should take place like after you've been out a few times and there's a little more comfort, and especially like if you already done the nasty, then it's real easy because you've already been to her place, she's been to your place or whatever, and it's just like, yo, let's get together. let's not, I don't feel like going out. Why don't you just come on through? We probably gonna end up here or your place anyway. And then we could Netflix and chill. And then what you could do is you could finesse it, man, by like, ordering like food from a nice restaurant or something and have a decent bottle of wine or, I don't know, bottle of nice whiskey or scotch or whatever shit is you or she may sip on, make it real cool. So yeah, I like that, man. But yeah, just try to do it maybe once in a relationship has been established or something like that. That way it don't come off as you trying to avoid things. So yeah, really, really good question to start the show off with. I appreciate that one. All right. Let's check out the next email. Okay. Let me look at this here. Dear John, I've been dating this guy for a couple months now. Everything is great except his breath can be really bad sometimes. How do you let someone know who you're dating that they have bad breath without offending them or making them feel bad? By not dating their ass no more. All right. That's how you let them know that they got bad breath. Because eventually, somebody will let them know and they will figure that shit out. Look. Yeah, there's really no way to let somebody know that the breath ain't all that cool. I mean, you can kind of be cool and be like, hey, you want some gum? I mean, you can offer them gum or whatever. I don't know if you want to go as far as buying somebody a bottle of mouthwash. That's kind of offensive. But, I mean, people should know. I mean, how much do you like this person and how many other qualities do they have? Because I think for a lot of people, bad breath is a deal breaker. Everything else can be fly, but if the breath is bad, unless you really know this person, maybe y'all been friends for a minute and you can spring that on them. But yeah, there's really no way to do that without offending them. I would say you don't want to be offended and just stop dating them because they will get it at some point, hopefully. But that ain't your damn problem. But thanks for the question. All right, next. All right, let's check out this next one. This email says, Dear John, when dating someone with kids, how much time should go by before you meet the children? Should that be weeks, months, or several months? I'll say this. If you're a guy, put it off as long as possible. Because the sooner you meet them, the sooner they have to be included in your budget. You seriously, you're gonna have to like do lunch, and they gonna have to come along at some point. Remember that the Kanye song where he's talking about you got to take all they ass to Showbiz Pizza, and for people who don't have Showbiz Pizza, it's Chuck E. Cheese out here. You got to do all that. I remember seeing this one young lady, and within 5 minutes of meeting her kid, I was on my way to the drugstore buying cough syrup for that little flu carrying crumb snatcher, and then that was awkward because I get to the drugstore and they've got the real expensive cough syrup, and then they've got, of course, the name brand, not the name, the off-brand shit, the store brand. And then I don't want to seem like I'm trying to be cheap with somebody else's kid's cough medicine. And she damn sure she didn't offer me any money. In fact, she even mentioned something about how she didn't have any and something about being expensive. So I mean, what you gonna do? You can't let the kid go around coughing coughing up a lung and whatnot. So yeah, I had to buy cough syrup for this kid, and I mean, you don't mind doing it. And if you're a lady and the dude has kids, you want to put it off even longer than dudes do, because the sooner you meet the kid, the sooner your motherly instincts are gonna be put to the test. Trust me, he's gonna need help with something, and that's gonna be your audition. He's gonna see how well you take care of the kids, how well you cook, how well you help them out when they sick or whatever. And I mean, again, just put that off. I mean, on the real side, and honestly, the downside of dating someone with kids is that if you get close and you end up breaking up with two people. I actually had that experience with a woman. I got close with her kid, and not having any children of my own, it kind of gave me a hint of what it was like a little bit. And when it's like when you pass down something, like I remember my father teaching me how to tie a tie, and that was a real cool day. I felt like that was, helping ushering me into manhood. And, I remember teaching him how to tie a tie when that time came. And he was real proud and felt like it was something I was passing down, that I had learned. And when we broke up, it was like breaking up with two people, and I mean, hindsight, I mean, I wish I would have made like an arrangement or something like that to like stay in his life. I don't know, go to ball games or, something. Because he didn't have a father that was involved, And anyway, that was just the end of it. And I mean, she's done a fine job of raising him. He's got to be damn near grown now. But it'd been cool to have been part of that. But anyway, let's just get on to the next email here. All right. Okay. Dear John, how many degrees of separation should there be between my ex-girlfriend and someone she knows? I say all is fair in love and war, and her circle of friends is fair game. Okay. Okay, first off, you sound like you're really young. All right? And if you're not really young, then you're too old not to know better than this bullshit you're talking right here. Now, I got to be the first to admit, if you're young, if you're like in your early to mid 20s, that may be something y'all doing now, okay? Because, y'all, this millennial generation, whatever, y'all youngins now, y'all do shit differently than we did, okay? So this may be totally acceptable for y'all, and I ain't going to say you're wrong, but that's one of the reasons why grown folks don't date y'all, because y'all keep up too many shenanigans. Y'all keep up too, seriously, we don't date, like grown folk, the grown and sexy crowd, we got to cut off, and it ain't you young folks, because y'all do shit like that, all right? I mean, you don't want to do this because it's like, you don't want to date somebody and then your homies date her or whatever like that. There's something else that's really similar to that. It's called passing a bottle, passing the bottle around to your friends. And there was a certain time when you may have done that. And when was the last time you saw a grown-ass person pass a bottle around to somebody? So, it's just not something that you should do. I think at a certain point, have your own damn bottle, have your own damn woman, and if you break up with a woman, find another woman, and yeah, how many degrees of separation, for real, it shouldn't be somebody she know. Stay away from family members, best friends, associates, co-workers if you can. Just some shit so y'all don't keep running to each other and seeing each other and it just being real awkward. It's kind of raggedy actually. And again, is it fair game for you? And I'm talking to somebody if they're older. I don't know how old this. Probably should start having y'all asking folks to put their age, because some of this advice is depending on how old you are. But anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode. I think there's a lot to kind of think about here, or laugh at here, or write me nasty ass letters hoping some crazy shit happens to me. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Let's try to do this thing again here next week. Can we even like set a day for this? Like maybe we should do this every Wednesday or every Sunday. I'm not sure. Anyway, again, thanks for tuning in. And if you're new, please check out the previous episodes. Also, you can check out my blogs at Mind of Moody. Those are on Blogger. You can catch me on Facebook. You can catch me on Twitter. The Twitter, I am JB Moody 716, and that's the same for Instagram as well, JB Moody 716. All right, y'all enjoy the rest of the week, and I will catch y'all later.
True indeed. That's how it is. I'm doing all types of plucking. Slapping, tapping, rapping. What's gonna happen? What's happening, Pops? Yeah. Let's July holding it down. Shout out all the lords of the low frequencies. What's good? Yeah. It's the real Chris Clark. Let's July. Some fly-ish. So try this on the side. Yeah. Bottoms. Big bag of bottoms. Bump for you boys on the block. Okay.